everyone, it's Alex from Alex's English class. Today I'm going to introduce you about the sun. Our sun is very pleasant, but it can vomit radiation and all sorts of plasma. But what are these and how bad they can be? Well, our sun seems very solid, but it's actually a plasma, or it's so hot that atoms are divided into its nuclei and its electrons, and they just float about. And this is shaped by the magnetic field made by electricity and electricity made by magnetic fields. This is possible because when electrically charged protons and electrons move, magnetic fields are made, and these magnetic fields shapes the flow of particles. And these magnetic fields go around the solar system, and this loop is called the dynamo, keeping the sun's magnetic field alive. And while the magnetic field goes around the solar system, this actually carries small pieces of plasma, which is called solar wind. And this magnetic field, though, is not pleasant. When the plasma moves, the magnetic field also moves, twisting and kinking it. So this can make magnetic knots. When it snaps, it can make solar storms called solar flares and CMEs. Solar flares are radiation going really fast and picking up protons, causing a solar proton storm. And a CME, coronal mass ejection, CME, is a piece of plasma from the sun, and when it hits Earth, nothing happens. It is because the atmosphere protects us on Earth, and the magnetic field also deflects it to the poles, making beautiful auroras in the skies. Even though on the surface it's actually safe, but satellites or radio connection can be downed, and astronauts can be dangerous, but on the surface it's actually just okay. However, there are solar superstorms, and scientists know they happen once or twice every century, and they are actually a CME, and when it hits us, the CME's magnetic field can actually align with the actual Earth's magnetic field, make it into a tail, and then the energy is compressed too much, and then it snaps. The energy goes to Earth, and a geomagnetic storm has begun. However, in the past, these geomagnetic storms can't harm humans. So actually, when in the past we only did agriculture and did not have other cars or things, we didn't even actually know that geomagnetic storms even existed. However, right now in the 21st century, we have electricity, and we have lots of wires covering millions of miles. And do you remember the dynamo? Because of the dynamo, the transformers sending energies can be destroyed, and the power grid can be shut down because of these CMEs, or solar superstorms. This has already happened in Quebec in 1989 after a big solar storm, and there has been the largest geomagnetic storm ever in 1859 on Earth, the Carrington event. Beautiful and massive auroras actually were seen as south as the Caribbean, and people woke up thinking the sun was rising, but there was only one kind of actual modern technology. telegraph systems. They failed all over the world, and shots being their operators trying to operate the telegraph systems. And a solar storm as strong as the Carrington event missed us by chance. Earth was lucky. Scientists think that this 2012 CME could have shut down power grids worldwide, but we don't know until a real solar storm hits us someday. But engineers actually do know how to do this, so we actually don't notice these solar storms actually hit us. But there are some more awful news. The sun can vomit super flares. Super flares are actually very similar to solar flares, and when they hit Earth, they can have very much side effects. They can shut down navigation, GPS, electricity, TV, or maybe shut down the water supplies, and grocery stores not being supplied at the right time, food rotting in the fields, and many other consequences because of these super flares. And most importantly, they can shut down power grids. However, engineers can actually shut down the power grid before a CME even shuts down the power grid and then turn it back on. So the side effects of the super flares can be blocked. Like this, the sun is keeping our days very bright, but they can send us all sorts of radiation and plasma, but we can be ready and we can be prepared against these monsters. Okay, today I introduced you about the sun and other kinds of radiation and plasma that comes out of the sun. And next time I'll come with a different topic.